everyone, welcome to my channel Kel's Stitches. I'm Kelly and this is a channel where I talk about everything to do with cross stitching. So today is Monday the 7th of October 2024 and this is Flosstube number 57. I'd just like to say thank you to any returning viewers and subscribers, very much appreciated, and welcome to any new subscribers that I've picked up over the last couple of weeks. I hope you enjoy the content that I have to show you. Alright, so let's just get straight into this and yeah, we'll just get straight into what I have stitched on for the last couple of weeks. As you can see, I have changed the picture. I've moved the dream catcher over to this wall and I have put in my tigers that I finished stitching last year. And was it last year? Yeah, I think it was last year that I finished last year and framed myself. So I don't know, I can't get this. Sorry, I'm going to move you a little bit. I just can't seem to get the camera in the right position this time. Alright, so just get all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Let me get myself organised here and we will get straight into what I have stitched on for the past 2 weeks. Rightio. I just don't have myself positioned properly. I don't know. Don't feel like I'm sitting in the right spot. Alright, so let's see, what did I work on first? So this one, I call it Tribble Wolf, and it comes from a Etsy store called 2x2 Stitch Art. Now, if you've watched me for a little while, you'll know that I only had one corner left to do. I approximated it to be about 600 stitches. I think I know what the issue is. Let me bring you forward a little bit. That feels a bit better. So yeah, I estimated it to be about 600 stitches left, and I was pretty close to where I actually was. So it is not just a fully finished, it's not just a finished object, it is a fully finished object. So this is what it looks like as a completed project. So I had 660 stitches left and I got that done on the first day. So then I've just gone and I asked my chat group whether I should make it into a project bag or a pillow, and as I said, the size of it would make it a pretty big pillow, and all of them said to make it into like a tote bag / project bag, so that's what I'd done. So I'd ordered this blue satiny material anyway to go on the back of it, whether it was a project bag or a cushion. So I'd done that, and I'd ordered some different coloured dark blue some different coloured dark blue lace, and that from Temu. I got this fabric from Temu as well. So then this morning, I just knocked this up this morning. So I've made it into a tote bag. I have done a couple of handles, which I have put a lace on it, and then I've done a bit of Velcro and just have it lined inside with the blue satin. Now it's not perfect. I have got the seams inside it, but the seams are all sewn together because I've never made a tote bag before, so it was a bit of a trial and error. I'm wondering if I might start making some different size tote bags just to get the feel of it, and maybe make the tote bags like project bags like this in the future, because well, as you can see, that's a vinyl fronted one that I made, and then this is the size of the lined ones, and the zip's broken on this one, so that's what I was thinking. So that's going to be huge. Like, that'll fit a lot. Even in these, sometimes I'm having trouble getting everything into these with all the floss and everything. So these are going to be, this size is going to be massive and easily fit an 11, probably 11 by 11 Q-snap in it. So I'm thinking that I might have a play around and sort of work out how I'm going to do it so the seams aren't in the actual bag. Not that it really matters, because they're not going to fray or anything, because I've already sewn them all together. But if I don't have the seams in there, that it'd be a lot better. So yeah, so that is my fully finished object, the second one of the year. All right, so the next one that I worked on is this one. It is called Soucis. It is by Long Dog Samplers, and I was down in this section, down in the bottom. So I'm very, very close to finishing this one off as well. There it is. And if I do, I'm just thinking, if I do project bags, and I've just got floss all stuck in the zip. If I do project bags that only have the if I do project bags that only have Velcro on them, I'm not going to be worried about the zips or anything breaking or floss getting caught in the zips. You know how it is. And that is my fault for being too heavy-handed and throwing it all. Oh, that's actually got the needle attached. And throwing it all in there without checking to make sure all my flosses are out of there. Right, now that, oh my God, now that that's done. All right, so a picture of where it was, and this is where I'm up to currently. So as you can see, I have got quite a bit of that one done. I did get a fair bit done in it, onto it, because I did work on this one for 3 days, and I got 1,600 stitches into it, and that included, no it didn't, oh yeah, it included some of this back stitching and stuff in here. But yeah, as you can see, I don't have a great deal left. I've just got to finish off this triangle, and the bit that goes in here. And I think it's approximately 1,200 stitches. So the next time this gets pulled out on a rotation, it will be done. So that will be my third finished project for the year. This is just being stitched on a 16 count? 18 count white Aida using Silks for You PR001 and PR147. But yeah, not long to go on it before it is finished. So because this is close to being finished, I know definitely in the next rotation it will, next rotation it gets pulled out for, it will be finished. So I will film another video to show you the other long dog samplers that I have. And you can help me choose which one I am going to work on for next year. But I will film that after this one, and I'll probably won't post it until next week or something. Alright, so the next one that I worked on was this one. It's the Out of the Savannah sale being run by Cross Stitch for Everyone for 2024. So that is not the actual picture because it is a mystery sale. And I'll put up a picture of where it was, because last time, I'll just pop this off, no, not that side. Last time we seen it, I had the bird partially done. So this is currently where I'm up to. So that's as wide as it is. It's not very deep either, or that's as long as it is. It's not very wide, I should say. So I finished off the bird. There are so many colour changes in that bird that he nearly looks 3D sitting on the fabric, because I am not stitching the white background. When I had it on the Q-snap and on my floor stand sitting back, you could see all the stitches in there. But yeah, he had so many colour changes in him. He's not 100% clear and detailed, but he gives you the idea of that it's to be a bird. Like he's got no eye or anything. It's just the idea of the eye being there, but I think it's looking all right. And then, as you can see, I have moved on to the sun, and I was slogging along with this pretty well, trying to, the sun looks a bit wonky up the top. He doesn't look 100%, I don't know. Anyway, I've gone with the, looks like he needs a couple more. Just it looks like it needs to be rounded over the top there. I think what I might do is when I've finished stitching in here, I might just go up and just put a couple of extra stitches in here to round that sun off, so it doesn't look so square at the and wonky at the top there. But I was stitching as fast as I could to try and finish that sun off, so then I can move down into this page, but it didn't happen. I worked on this one for 3 days and I got 1,900 stitches into it. As you can see, there is a little bit of the top of another bird. I think it's a flamingo or something that's there. I'm not 100% sure. I have seen this stitched up from other people that are basically keeping up with it. And they've got all this, and I'm pretty sure that that is a flamingo coming in there. So as you can see, that page basically only had that little bit and these couple of tips from the sun. But yeah, so that's stitching up pretty well, looking pretty good. And I'll just keep plugging away with it. I am not keeping up with it, obviously, because we're up to about page, I think they released page 19 the other day. Yeah, no, I'm only on page 7, so Of course I'm not keeping up with it, but I'll just keep plugging along and get it done for when I can. Now the next one that I worked on was this one, the Jackrabbit from the Year in the Woods series by Cottage Garden Samplings. That's what it'll look like when he's done. Pop this cue snap off as well, because I did move it. Alright, so I'll put a picture of where it was, and this is currently where I'm up to. As you can see, I've finished off all this in the rabbits, and I've got all of this down here finished, all of that done, and I moved down just to finish and get his feet in. So all I have left to do on the rabbit is this. It's just that part in his back and a little bit in his tail. I stuffed up, miscounted on the tail somewhere. I only realised when I was starting to stitch it, like fill it in, and I was like, that is not enough stitches in there. But I still don't think it looks that out of. It's a little bit more curved, a bit broader curve here. It should have been a little bit higher and come up here a bit more, rather than, as you can see, he sits up a bit more, whereas mine curves, is a little bit shorter and curves in. But you're not going to notice unless you know the piece and how it's stitched. You're not going to tell that that's not how it wasn't meant to be. So, and I worked on this for 2 days and I got 1,500 stitches into it. So looking brilliant. Once the rabbit's done, I will move across to number 4. Slowly going, waiting to see if there is a new series coming out. I know they usually release them around about November. There hasn't been any hints. Usually they tend to give out a hint of what the next series is going to be, and I haven't seen any hints. Might have to go looking on the Facebook page to see if I can find out. I would really love them to do like an ocean series, or an African animals series. Would be awesome, and an Australian animal series would be great. There's so many options you could do, but I do understand that they are an American company, so other countries may not be in their sight to do their animals. Alright, moving on to the next one, we have Happy Mood Point, my Quaker sampler, SS187. This is from a store on Etsy called Happy Mood Point, or were called Happy Mood Point. They are now Daily Pattern Post. And that is what it's looking like, or will look like, when it is finished. And this is where I'm up to with it. So, I don't know if I've moved that or not. But yeah, I've just filled in more of this motif here. These are the bottom motifs anyway. So once I'm done with that one, so this one here is that one there. So I've done that one, and this motif, and I'm working on this one. So I don't know if once I'm finished this one I will move upwards and do that and come across, or if I go across and start on this one. I'm thinking that I will just finish this one and move upwards. But yeah, that is where I'm up to with it. So this is being stitched on 18 count black Ada that I bought from Temu, and it is using a Silks for You floss called Fairy Lights, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it's called, Fairy Lights, and I am loving the way it's stitching up. I just work, oh, I've also done that other little motif up there. So I just stitch however I want to using it. In each motif, you can see each motif has nearly another little motif. I complete those first, like I'll do that whole flower there, then I've moved across and done all this, then I moved across and done that, and I've done all that, and now I'm starting to work in towards the center, and then I'll do the last big flower at the last. And I just, as I said, I'll stitch up, I'll stitch down, I'll stitch however I like, just to get the different colors and different variations, just so there's not big lines, like you've just got strips of color, because this floss is super duper colorful. Love it, and it looks amazing on the black. So I am super glad that I restarted that one. Now, the next one that I worked on was a mini top frog. This is artwork by Jody Bergsma, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. That is what it will look like when it is completed. I will put a picture of where it was last time we seen it, and this is where we're up to. So I'm still working in that very top page, working in all of that green background there. But as you can see, I have finished and filled in the very top frog, the one on the top of the stack there. I filled him in, and now I've just got all that green background to work in. So I just choose a symbol and work it over the page. And then when I'm done, I will just move to either side, one of these sides, and just work down, and then I'll do the same. But yeah, that's looking pretty good, and it is being stitched on. No, I haven't got it because the zip broke off it. I am pretty sure 18 count. It's an 18 count Ada, and it's using all the cordful threads, obviously, but CXC, not DMC. And I worked on this one for 2 days, and I got 1,200 stitches into it. And I just realized that I did not tell you how many stitches I put into this one. So going back, just reverse up a little bit, going back to the Happy Mood Points Quaker, I worked on it for 2 days, and I got 1,100 stitches into it. Right, back to the scheduled program. So yeah, that is looking really good. There is a lot of color changes in this up here. Not as much as it would have been if it was a max color. Sorry if you heard that noise. My stallion out the window just had a roll, and he got up and he's coughing a little bit because he didn't finish chewing his food before he got down and had a roll. Rightio, the last one that I worked on was this one. Oops. Now this is a stamped kit that I bought quite a few years ago off AliExpress. I can't tell you the name of the shop or anything because I can't remember it, but that is what it'll look like. Now this one is using the rayon, I'm not going to call it silk floss, it's using the rayon satiny, satiny floss that I ordered. Silly me, I wanted to try it out and didn't realise how much of a pain in the ass it was going to be to work with. So this is where I'm up to. As you can see, I've just got all this blue background to fill in, and that's all I've done. I just filled in, and I love it when it's like that because it's just so easy. You can just stitch on it and not have to worry about changing colours or anything like that. And this is being stitched on 11 count, and as I said, it's using the satiny floss, which if anyone is using or has a kit with the satin floss, get yourself some thread wax, because it will be your best friend when you're using it. Even for metallics, it is your best friend. It just makes it a lot easier, stops it from slipping so much, and it stops it from unraveling, especially your metallics. So I worked on this for one day and I got 600 stitches into it. And once it's done, like I don't have that much, but I do have quite a bit left. If you probably a good third of it. So once I'm finished here, I will move down and finish off the bottom of the project, and then I'll just move over, come back up here. I think when I move, except for that bottom bit, when I move back up here, I might put it into one of the smaller knockoff nerge frames that I got off Temu. Just because that hoop doesn't sit well on my floor stand, whereas that's a little knockoff nerge. Whereas that does, I can adjust the arms on my floor stand to hold it a little bit better. So I think that's what I'll do, because I do have a couple of those nerges. Rightio, so that is everything that I have stitched on for the last 2 weeks, and for a total stitch count for the 14 days I got 8,560 stitches in, and I am super happy with that. It was more stitches than the previous fortnight, but not as many stitches as the fortnight before that, which was 11,000. I still don't know how I managed to stitch 11,000 in that fortnight. All right, so what we will do is just sort these out, move that into there because it is finished. Might write on the back of it. I think what I'll start doing with those cover photos is I might, when I start it, I'll write my start date on it, and then when I finished it, I can write my finish date on the back of it, and that way we know, I know how long it's taken me to do. All right, so on to doing the boards without rubbing it all off. Great. Alrighty. So we have, this is the small full coverage and non-full coverage board. And Tribble Wolf, we got 660 stitches into that, which brings it to 8,500 stitches. I'm trying to stick the wrong lid on there, but that also makes it a finish. So that looks pretty good. 2 finishes on that board, and all going well and according to plan. There will be a 3rd one with Soucis. And the next one I actually write on there will be Soucis at 1,600. It's going to bring me over the 7.5, isn't it? 0, 0, 6 and 5 is 14, 6, 7, 8,400 for Soucis. And add another, probably say 1,200 to that, will be 9,600 and a finish for the next rotation. Nope, not cross stitch for everyone. Whoa, Into the Woods, Year in the Woods series. We got 1,500, which gives us 4. I think I added up. Did I add that up right? 14. Oh no, that's right. This one. 6, 9 and 5 is 14, put down the 4 to carry the 1, 7, 8, that is 9,460 stitches in the Year in the Woods. Now that is not just for the jackrabbit, that is also for the, is it the fox that I finished earlier in the year? That was also, so that's just for the whole project, not per individual animal. Happy mood points. Over here we got 1,100, and that brings us to 3,700. So I'm creeping up on that 5,000 goal. That's 1,300 stitches to go into it to reach 5,000. So I think we've got October, November, December. So we do have 12 weeks left of the year, and that will allow me another 2 rotations of each project. So I should easily be able to get the 1,300 into that to reach the 5,000 goal. And if you're new, the reason this is crossed out is because I had started the Happy Mood Point Quaker with what they call that metallic floss, and I got partway through it and I didn't like it, so I scrapped it and restarted on the black with the Silks View. So that is why, and as you can see, I was already 2,600 into it, and when I scrapped it, I just wasn't enjoying working with the Petite Treasure braid, that's what it's called. I just wasn't happy working with it and the fabric and the way it was looking, so I UFO'd it and restarted. Alright, now onto the stamped, and 600. That brings that to 5,100. Finally, I reached the 5,000 mark on that one. What else is my? Oh, okay, so I've only got 2 that. So this one, which is in the wild, and this one, which is the Quaker, and I just explained that one. Alright, so that is my small full coverage and non-full coverage board. all sorted. Throw that back over there. And we move on to the full coverage projects, which are only done 2 of in this rotation. And that is the Out of the Savannah, which is here. Oops. What did we do? 1,900. And that brings it to 4, carry the 1, 7, 8, 9,410. Just short of the 10,000. Just short. Wow. Wouldn't that just shit job? Anyway, we will get to the 10,000 on the next one. And then we have Top Frog over here. And we got 1,200. And that is 9,200. Alright. Now you won't see any finish written on these ones because these are all my big projects, big full coverage projects that are going to take several years to complete. So all I can do is set myself a goal every year to get a certain amount of stitches in on them and hope that I achieve that and just watch them come to life as I stitch them. But there is a few that are very, very close to reaching the 10,000. So Top Frog, Waterhole Masters, and Out of the Savannah. They are all a few hundred stitches, 800 stitches at the most, away from completing or reaching the 10,000 goal. And as I said, with a couple of rotations left in this year, it is quite doable. Easy done. Rightio. So the next thing that I will do is, I'm not going to make a big hullabaloo about drawing these out because we all know that I've only got 7 projects left to do on this rotation. So I will just show you. We've got Tiger Lily, which I will just write down as we're going as well. Tiger Lily, Moonrise Song. Now this is going to be probably a bigger, this one's going to have, rotation's going to have a lot of full coverage in it. Moonwolf 1. Modern Folk Embroidery Cell. Wild. And the last 2 should be 2 full coverages. Mini Shaman. And Protector. So let me just find the cover photos for these, which should all be here. So these are the ones we'll be working on, not in any particular order, not in any order that I showed you there. So we've got Moonwolf 1, Tiger Lily, Wild, and where's the rest of them? Thought they were all there together. Obviously not. Protector, Moonrise Song, Mini Shaman, Modern Folk Embroidery, the sale for this year, No Time Like the Present. I'm not doing it in that colour, I'm doing it in the colour that you will see here. And where are we? Is that it? Is that the 7 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, that is. So they are the 7 projects that I'm working on for this fortnight. Yeah, that is basically all of the stitching that I have got to show you. Now I'm not going to do a plans video because I'm basically sticking with what I've done this year. I am going to up my goals for each project. I am going to increase those just a little bit because this year I've managed to get to those goals, especially for the smaller ones. I've blown them out of the water basically. So I am going to increase my goals for each project. And now I know I have finished 2 projects and on track to finish a 3rd. So I will be replacing those 3 projects at the start of the year. I won't start them now. I will wait until the start of the year and replace them then. If I finish any projects within the first 3 months of the year, so January, February, March, if I finish any projects in that time frame, I will replace them. Otherwise, I will just keep on. I won't bother replacing them after that time frame, I don't think. Then again, I'll decide that. I'll see how we go or how many I think I'm going to get finished in the first 6 months, especially of the smaller ones. Yeah, so that's that. I'm sticking at what I have been doing. So yeah, I found that has worked for me. I did consider joining in on the Stitchopoly that everyone is getting in on. I wouldn't, on my board, I wouldn't assign a project for every space if I was going to do one. I would probably just I'd just have the board, have the spaces, assign totals to the spaces, like stitch totals to the spaces, and assign stitch totals to like any of the chance cards and all that sort of stuff. I would keep the 21 projects that I've got, and I think if I decide to do it, what I would do is I'd still pull out my rotation for the 2 weeks, like the 7 projects for the 2-week rotation. And I would roll, I don't know how many like a little people that I'd use though. I'd probably only go 4. So what I'd probably do is for the fortnightly rotation that I've used, like that I've pulled, I would just assign 4 markers to 4 of the projects, maybe the full coverage projects, depends on what I pull. 4 of them, and then just try to get them stitch totals in. But see, it's not really going to work with how I do my rotation. I will think about it a little bit more if I do decide to join in on the Stitchopoly that everyone is going crazy about at the moment. I know Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, was saying that she is going to do like a multi-level board. It's going to be interesting to see how she does that because she has so many projects, how she's going to work that. But I don't have that many projects. and I don't want that many projects. So I am trying to figure out a way that it is going to work for me. If I decide to do it, that is. Just, yeah. I'm just thinking, like, just to mix it up, give you something different to watch next year. I still really want to stick with my totals and doing the boards and totaling them up like that, because it just gives me a good idea of how I am tracking with my stitch totals. But to change it up a little bit, to make it a little bit more interesting, if anyone wanted to play along with Stitchopoly with me, I will think about it and think on how it is going to work for, unless I just roll daily. To see what my stitch totals have to be on that project for the day. No, that's not going to work, because if I got 4 counters, I can't roll daily for 4 of them and expect to get God knows how many into a project in one day. And because I do get big numbers, I would have to set my totals fairly, like on my board, I'd have to set them fairly high, wouldn't I, to actually make it a challenge for me to get there. And I'd probably do it as a big game board, like an animal type of board. So you'd have smaller game, or each side would probably could be different animals or different continents. So you'd have like ocean, Australia. I know you've only got 4 sides. That's the problem. I'd have to choose what you'd have. Like you could do like ocean, Australian animals, African animals, and then all the rest of the world sort of animals. That could be an idea, and make it sort of like a safari, that you stitch so many for each animal. Not particularly that your project has to have that many animal or that animal in it, but you'd have to stitch, say, like for elephant, you would have to stitch, say, 500 stitches to maybe. That doesn't really work with buying, because you can't really buy all the animals. You could take a photo, 500 stitches to take a photo of an elephant, and then 600 stitches to take to get close to an elephant. Or I would have to work it out, but I do like the animal idea, and I have to work out how it's going to work with my rotation. Let me think about it, and I will get back to you. We've still got 3 months for me to decide on that. Yeah, that could work. Maybe. I will think about it. I am not going to sit here for another 10 minutes and try to discuss this with you. So yeah, basically my plans are going to be the same, and I will throw in Stitchopoly if I have to, or if I want to. I like the idea of the temperature, so I like the temperature stitch along as well, but I could do it on 10 projects, but I really like just sticking with what I've pulled out as well, not sort of bouncing backwards and forwards between all my projects. So I don't think I'd do that. Across sticks, I don't really, they're not sort of my thing. So I think if I was going to join in with anything, it would be Stitchopoly. And I do have a team on the Full Coverage Fanatics Stitch to the Moon or something event it's called. I do have a team that I'm leading there. We have to get like, I think it's 238,000 stitches, something like that over the year for the team. And I think at the moment, I think we got 5 or 6 people on our team, and that breaks it down to what, 12,000? Is it 12,000 stitches? Let me just check this. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, divided by 12 months. Yeah, so it works out to be nearly 20,000 stitches a month. So if we've got 6 people, 5 or 6 people, it'd be 4,000 or 5,000 stitches a month. So that is easily doable for most of us, I think. So if you wanted to join, and it does have to be on full coverage projects though, so that takes out all of my non-full coverage, and it takes out some of my bigger full coverage because I'm not doing the background. So when the group says full coverage, it has to be, I think they said 95%. The fabric has 95% of the fabric has to be covered in the stitch area. So there's some of my like shaped wolf and protector and the cross stitch for everyone Sal. Those 3 are definitely out because I am taking the background out of 2 of them, and one of them has no background. So yeah, anyway, that's that as well that I'm doing next year, as well as a few other games. We've got the Fun with Cross Stitch Safari, which I am currently doing, and they're doing releasing another one. It's a bit of mystery surrounding it because they're not telling us anything about it, so so we'll wait and see what that one involves as well. But yeah, I think that's about it. I've got no haul or investments, as Siski calls them. I've got no investments, and although I did get my one advent calendar. It's not a cross stitch one, but I did get one of my advent calendars arrived last week. I've still got Sharon's from Fun with Cross Stitch 12 days advent, and the Silks for You 12 days, I think it is, advent to do for both of them to arrive. I've got so the one that I received was a hot chocolate advent, then I've got the 2 cross stitch 12-day ones, and then I have a fairy floss, or what do you call it in America, cotton candy advent. It won't be posted until the 1st of November. And then I was thinking, well, I've only got the 2 12-day ones. I wanted a 25-day one. The Caterpillar cross stitch advent was sold out, which I knew it would be. It sold out back, I think in March or whenever, within weeks of it being released, it sold out. So I went searching, and I did find a couple of other ones, and I found, I think you pronounce it Yeotas, something like that. Yeotas X Stitch, oops, sorry, I found that, and it's a 25-day one, I'm sure. So I went and bought it, and it has been posted, so hopefully it will arrive within the next couple of weeks because it is coming from the UK. So it has already been posted and on a flight, so I will be getting that one as well. So yes, Flossmas will be going ahead again this year, and I hope it doesn't turn into a absolute clown fest like it did last year. I'll try to keep it a little bit more straight this year. I do have a few other ideas on what I will do during Flossmas as well, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, I think that is it. That's everything. I don't have much life updates to tell you. Car situation still, the car still hasn't been sorted. Yes, I bought a new one, but the old car, the insurance still hasn't settled. Spoke to a lawyer about it. He told me what to do. I emailed the insurance company and said this is what my lawyer advised me to do, and lo and behold, I have not heard back from the insurance company. So I will be sending them another email during next week sometime, just to say, oi, get your ass into gear, settle my car, I want it over and done with, and once I get the information about the other 2 cars that were involved as well, I will send that through to you and you can pay for that as well. So yeah, it's sort of sitting at a stalemate, but I have got the lawyer. I have spoken to him about it, so if things go south with it, I will just ring him and say, get onto him and fix it. And send your bill to them. They can pay for it as well. But yeah, that's everything. That is, yeah, I had to work on Saturday night, which is why I didn't get 2 days stitching into the stamped kit. But my next floss tube will be on the 21st of October. So in 2 weeks' time will be my next floss tube. And then then we have two more normal floss tubes after that. So from today we've got 3 normal floss tubes, and then on the 1st of December we will start in on Flossmas, and that's where I'll just open my advent calendars and show you what I have stitched on for the previous day. And from what I read from the Yota's X-Stitch calendar, they do have little stitchy things in there that should only take about an hour a day. So if I've got time to stitch them up, I will stitch them up and show them in the next one. All right, guys, so I think I'm going to leave it as that. I haven't got any photos or videos or anything else to show you because we haven't been anywhere again since last time. All right, guys, I will leave it as that. So until I see you next time on the 21st of October, please, wherever you are in the world, take care and stay safe. Bye.